Okay, gang, so hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack, where I am in New York and trying to get settled in. Not really happening very well. It's there's a lot, and there's a lot to do. It's not like there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the house, but there kind of is, just little things. But anyways, enough of that. I'm here, I'm happy, and it's so far it's gone great, and we'll talk more about that here in a second. But for right now, we have got to get it figured out who won the Christmas chainsaw giveaway. I know I'm a couple days late, or 3 or something, I don't know, but I'm a little bit late, and sorry about that. Not really sorry. I'm sure you guys can understand. I just moved from Atlanta, Georgia to Mayville, New York. So it takes up a bit of my time, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and so here we go. Click to spin. I got all the names in there, all the members of the channel, the paid members. That's who gets a chance to win this saw. The paid members. Here we go. Bam, ba bam, 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 spinning. Tom. You're in there, it's just Tom, buddy. But Tom, you are 8QU. You have won Shere Khan, what it was a 365 clone saw, but it has a 372 XP big bore and been ported by me. Nice Exile muffler. All the parts were supplied by starsupplyllc.com. Look them up. And I'm pretty sure I always fail to mention this. If you want to get a 10% discount, you just put in Novice Lumberjack and you'll get a 10% discount. So anyways, check out TriStar Supply LLC. He actually kind of funded this, gave me all the parts needed to make this. I purchased the saw and I did all of the work, but he then did all of the upgrade components and everything. So very good of TriStar Supply, very good of me, but very good for Tom. Tom, I hope you enjoy the saw. Reach out to me by email, bodiechainsaws@gmail.com, and I'll get your saw to you. Jason will actually send it. Because of the move, I left the chainsaw with him. It's down in Atlanta, and he'll mail it out to you from Atlanta. But send me your address, and I'll get it to Jason. All right. So let's stop this recording. Done. Did it. Okay, there you go. So what can I tell you about the saw? I mean, that you don't already know. I mean, you saw it on the video. It runs great, quite powerful. In that oak, I think, you know, when the way I was talking about it was, I was like, the saw didn't like the oak. Nothing likes the oak. That big piece of dried out white oak is so hard. I mean, it cut it just fine. It had plenty of power, you know. However, it just didn't look good because it's just barely, the teeth are barely able to dig on it. And, you know, people like to go, oh, your chain's dull. No, it's not. It's just that wood's that hard, and it just basically all it can do is throw sawdust. Anywho, but it runs really stellar, and I think anybody that gets it is going to really enjoy it. It's a cool saw. And the Exile stuff, I think it looks, that stuff looks great to me. I mean, there's a lot of companies, not a lot, there's a handful of companies that make aftermarket performance products for these chainsaws, and they're all good, you know. But honestly, specifically with the dogs, that's my style. I dig it. And then with the muffler mods as well, I like the Exile stuff. It's not ridiculously loud, you know, typically, especially if you're running that screen. On this saw, I actually left the screen in place, and you're not racing it, you're just working it. So honestly, I would say leave it the way it is. But you do what you want. It's your saw. If you want to turn around and sell it, you can do it. I don't care. You know, you won that saw. I'm real big on that. Like gifts are gifts, and it's not a gift if it comes with stipulations. Then it's a burden. You know, if I was giving away this chainsaw and I was like, but you can never sell it, that's not a gift then. That's a burden that I've got to keep for the rest of my life. So these are yours. Whenever I give away a saw, you do whatever the heck you want with it. Anyways, okay, so now that that's out of the way, what's been going on with old Bodie? The weather here, whenever I arrived, I actually made the trip all the way through, which is crazy. I can't do that. I have a very difficult time doing that typically. I crash and I've got to take a nap, and then I'm like, let's just get a hotel room, all kinds of stuff. Well, in having the dogs, hey, come up here. Up. There you go. Louie, see? All right, get down. No. Get down. The dogs were in the back of the truck. I got a camper top for the little Nissan, and I had them a nice little bed made up in there and everything. I got to sneeze. I don't think it's coming. Anyways, so it started getting really cold, you know. Of course, it was dropping down to 26 degrees. But with that, you know, I was like, the dogs are fine. You know, dogs are fine. But then it was like 16 degrees and stuff. And I was like, ugh. And so what happened was I was feeling good. I had plenty of energy, and there was only about 4 hours left to drive. And I was like, well, shit. I figured that I would stop just on the north side of Columbus. So I was going from Atlanta to Mayville, New York. And so I figured just on the north side of Columbus, I'll stop. But I felt good and I kept going. Then all of a sudden I was just outside of Cleveland. And then, you know, I was like, from Cleveland, it's only like 2 hours. And so I was like, shit, man, it's like 3.5 hours. I can make this. And I also got thinking about the dogs too. So yeah, it was getting cold, and I was like, they're not used to this cold weather, but they're still dogs, you know. Dogs are pretty thick-skinned, you know. And, but I was like, if I brought them into the hotel, got them warm, we spent the night at a hotel, then we go back to a stone-cold truck, and right now, as it is, all those blankets and cushions that they're sleeping on has built up heat. The little camper top has built up heat, like probably inside that camper, even though it was 16 degrees outside, inside that camper it was probably 35, you know, maybe more, you know. So I was like, it'd be better for them just to keep going. And then I was feeling good on top of that. So we just kept going. Road conditions were good. I called Irene. Some of you guys were really sweet, and you were posting the weather conditions and watch out and everything. And I got to say, like, it's odd, but that stuff helps me, you know, that it helps me. So I look at it like, they're right. I need to be aware. It's more my personality to just go and say, let everything, you know, fly where it may, you know, whatever. And so anyways, I was like, that's nice. And I called Irene and I was like, hey, what's the weather looking like? And she's like, it's already past us. It's up in Buffalo and stuff. And so I was like, all right, here I go. And so I kept on going. Whenever I arrived, it was 4 degrees. And that was the coldest it's been since I've been here. It looks like I brought the heat from Hotlanta because literally it's every day that I've been here, it's gotten warmer and warmer and warmer. And today it's supposed to be really close to 50 degrees. So all the snow that Irene had to deal with has it's just melting and melting and melting and melting. There's very little left out there at this point. I mean, there's plenty of snow, but like on the roads, there's like nothing. And even in the, like, just in our yard, you know, what was 5.5 feet is now probably about that much. And it's all wet because it's all melting. So, anywho, as far as the cold, you know, I haven't get dressed for it, man. And so far, I've yet to have any weather where you couldn't dress for it and get warmer. Now, I've been in cold ass weather and I wasn't dressed well for it and I was freezing my balls off, you know, so I think we've all been there, you know. But I mean, I was like that all the time in Atlanta. It'd be like 28 degrees and I'd be freezing to death in Atlanta. Why is that? Because I'm not wearing the appropriate clothes. It doesn't stay cold long enough for me to get a real coat and wear thermals and wool socks and all that stuff. But anyways, I went ahead and bit the bullet and I ordered a couple different pair of boots. I definitely got the big muck boots because I know that there'll be times when I'm on the tractor just plowing, you know, pushing snow for maybe hours. That's going to be a horrible situation where I need to be as warm as possible. In which case, the muck boots, I got the Arctic ones because my toes get cold. My toes and fingers get cold. And so I went ahead and I didn't want to buy them, but I was like, you know what? I will really wish I had those boots the moment that I need them. So, because they're expensive. They're expensive. Like $179 or something like that. So I really didn't want to order them, but I did. I also ordered me their LL Bean Storm Chaser boots. Those will be just like the common. I wear these, you know. I'll wear them, you know. The muck boots, they're only going on whenever it's bad and I need them. Anyways, but so far, yeah, the cold hasn't been an issue whatsoever. And the garage that's hooked to the house, it is heated, but the heat ain't working. I haven't looked at it enough to figure it out. I think it's just clogged up. I think that literally somewhere inside the heater, it pumps hot water, and then the fan kicks on and blows. It's just like a radiator in a car. And I think that it's just not getting flow. I've looked at it about this much. I need to look at it a little bit more and try and figure out why it's not working. But even still, regardless of whether it's working or not, that garage is it's insulated. It's well insulated. And the garage doors are the nice, big, thick, insulated garage doors. So that garage, I just did work in there yesterday on the tractor. Oh, I got to tell you about the tractor. Oh, my God. So we're getting long-winded here anyway. That's fine. 15 minutes, that's not bad. So as soon as I showed up, everything was fine. I showed up on Friday night. Saturday morning, I come back out, and I'm like, oh, damn, trailer tire is flat. I was like, well, that sucks. It's like, well, I mean, it's completely flat. And, you know, I don't know if the cold weather made it drop a little bit in pressure and it just lost the seal, or if I ran over something. But whenever I showed up, it was fine. And it just went flat overnight. I was like, I'll be damned, you know? So I was like, well, I'll go ahead and get the tractor off and blah, blah, blah. And then my little toolbox is sitting on there under the bucket of the tractor. I go to start the tractor. Nope. It was like probably 7 or 8 degrees that morning, you know. And so it's like one thing that's for certain, immediately, if there's anything that's going to go bad, is put it in some cold ass weather and it will go bad. So that battery, I had just charged it and it was fine for Atlanta. It was dragging a little bit, that's why I charged it. But, you know, they build them just right. They last. The 3-year warranty is what it had. It was a Sears Die Hard with gold with a 3-year warranty. And I brought it in, no warranty. So I had to buy a new battery even to get the tractor to start. And I couldn't, all my tools were in that toolbox underneath the bucket of the tractor. So I had a hell of a time just swapping out the battery. So I get the battery in there and it fires up and I'm like, okay, whew, good. All right, so go back up, and it won't move. Literally, I'm like, what's this? Like the brakes stuck. And I'm looking, are the brakes frozen stuck? No, because the back tires are turning. What it is the front left tire was stuck. And I rocked it back and forth. Anyways, it broke loose. And I was like, I know what that is. I've been suspecting for a long time that I've got water inside my front axle. And all that water was down in the bottom of it's a gear set that's right there, the knuckle, I guess you would call it, on the front of the tractor. And the water froze, essentially locking the gears in my front axle. And luckily I was able to get it to actually break them loose finally. But I was like, oh God. I'm lucky that it didn't freeze and shatter and bust the casing and all that stuff. So anyways, I did what I needed to do with the tractor that day. I had to plow a little bit. But then I put it in the garage, the one that's hooked to the house that I'm telling you has heat, but the heat ain't working, but it's okay because it's so well insulated. It stays pretty warm in there. It stays like 45 degrees in there. And so I put the tractor in there, let it all thaw out, and I changed the fluid in my front differential axle setup. And sure enough, man, as soon as I opened up the little bleed screws at the bottom to drain it all out, just nothing but water. I mean, clean looking water. And then probably about a cup of water on each side came out before the oil started flowing. And so anyways, I got that changed out and added oil back in, and the tractor's new battery. It's good to go. It's working great. And there you have it. But yeah, so I'm having a lot of stuff happen. I'm like, oh, yeah. And to get internet, we had to set up a Starlink. So far, it's working really good. It's not great. Anybody that's like, it's amazing, they probably have never had real high-speed internet. And so it's good. I'm happy. But like this video is going to take a half an hour to upload, whereas with real high-speed internet, this video upload in a minute, so but I'm glad we got something. And for in a situation like this, it's a lifesaver. It's great, right? So but it's working really good. And surprisingly, the Wi-Fi router goes a long way. So I am happy with it. All right, so now let me address this before. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already typed in a bunch of stuff. Why is that there? Bodie, weren't you in the Air Force? What is going on? There's other things too. You can't see it. There's a Semper Fi thing over there. U.S. Army Cup is over there. Another Marine Corps Cup. All this stuff. There's this dude that's in the hospital bed. All kinds of stuff's going on. This is my wife's office. She does a lot of work with veterans. Just put it that way. She does a lot of folks with wartime injuries who need a little help. So anyways, yeah, that's why that stuff's going on. She doesn't get many Air Force clients because Air Force clients don't typically get blown up. So, I mean, I was in the Air Force and I did some cool shit that I can't tell you about. I did do some cool shit, but my job was heating and air conditioning. So I wasn't getting sent to the front of the battle and stuff, you know what I mean? Thank goodness. Those are nightmares that I do not want. Anyways, if you guys got sent to the front lines and stuff, hats off. Thank you for your service. Absolutely. What I did was important too, and I'm happy that I did it and everything. But yeah, I never had to do that hardcore shit. And I'm very glad that I never had to do it. Anyways, that's enough for this video. Little update what's going on, as well as Tom, congratulations on winning the chainsaw. Later.